My aunt always said my kids were too sensitive. Then I used her exact parenting advice on her grandson. She called me cruel. Growing up, my aunt was the family's parenting expert. 3 perfect boys, all athletes, all honors students. She loved reminding everyone how she'd raised them with tough love and 0 coddling. Kids these days are too soft, she'd announce at every family gathering. I had 2 daughters, 6-year-old Ruby and 4-year-old Violet. They were sensitive kids. Ruby cried easily and needed extra reassurance. Violet was terrified of the dark and had nightmares. I was fine with that. I held them when they cried and left nightlights on. My aunt hated it. "You're raising weak children," she'd say in front of them. She'd watch Ruby tear up over a scraped knee and roll her eyes. "Walk it off. It's not that bad." When Violet asked for a hug after a bad dream, my aunt would scoff. "She's manipulating you. Ignore her and she'll stop." I asked her to stop criticizing my parenting. She refused. Someone needs to prepare them for reality. Last month, her eldest son dropped off his 8-year-old, my cousin's kid Brandon, for the weekend. My aunt couldn't take him because she had plans, so Brandon stayed with us. He was a sweet kid, polite, helpful, a little shy. That first night, he asked if he could call his dad before bed. "I always talk to him at night," he said quietly. I was about to hand him my phone when I remembered my aunt's advice. Her exact words echoed in my head. "Kids need to learn independence. Coddling creates weakness." I smiled at Brandon. "You're a big boy. You don't need to call your dad every night." His face fell. "But I always do. It's our routine. Routines make you dependent. You'll be fine without it." I turned off the light. I heard him crying softly through the door. I wanted to go in, but I stood firm. This was what my aunt believed in, right? Let him cry it out. Tough love. The next morning, Brandon was quiet. He barely touched his breakfast. My aunt called that afternoon. "How's Brandon doing?" "Great," I said. "He's learning independence." That evening, Brandon scraped his elbow playing outside. He came in crying, blood running down his arm. My daughters immediately got up to help him. I stopped them. "Brandon, you're fine," I said, not moving from my seat. "Walk it off." He stared at me, tears streaming down his face. "But it really hurts. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. You need to toughen up," my aunt's favorite phrase. I sent him to wash it himself. My daughters looked horrified. By day 3, Brandon barely spoke. He'd stopped asking for anything. When my daughters invited him to play, he just shook his head and sat alone. At dinner, he picked at his food. "Not hungry?" I asked. "My stomach hurts," he whispered. "You're fine. Eat your vegetables." That night, my aunt called again. "Put Brandon on. I want to say hi." "He's busy." Kids need to learn the world doesn't revolve around them. "What do you mean he's busy? He's 8. Put him on the phone. He needs to be less dependent on adult validation. You taught me that." There was a long pause. "What exactly are you doing over there? Raising him the way you raised your boys. The way you said I should raise my girls." I kept my voice cheerful. "No coddling, no sensitivity, no emotional weakness. That's different." "How is it different?" Another pause. Then, "I'm coming to pick him up." She arrived 20 minutes later, breathless and furious. Brandon ran to her immediately, sobbing into her arms. She held him tight, stroking his hair. "What did you do to him?" she demanded. "I used your exact parenting advice, every single method you said I should use on my girls." I pulled out my phone and opened my notes. "Want me to read them back to you?" Her face paled. "You made him sleep alone without calling his dad. You refused to comfort him when he was hurt. You ignored his physical complaints." She was shaking. "How could you be so cruel?" I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the full story below.